Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Creative Connect. I'm your host, Kopano Lekoti, and today I am hosting what is probably going to be the easiest interview of my life because for the first time on the show, I am joined by someone who I'm both a fan of the work that they do, but I'm also a very close friend of hers, and she's also a very close friend of mine. So she's an actress, one of South Africa's most talented and versatilely talented actresses who's been making a splash here or there, but the splash is big. So today, let us welcome my girl, Miss Nkoni Mametja.
Wow, what an introduction.
I tried. No, usually I just say, today I'm joined by one.
Yeah.
But with you, I had to. My girl, thank you so much. It's been long overdue.
Yeah, definitely long overdue.
But the timing was right. Yeah. So, I don't know, what shall we start with? A backstory as to how we know each other, because, this is a bit of a personal episode.
Yes.
Do you remember the story of how we met?
So I think you sent me a message either on Instagram or WhatsApp. Yes. Asking me to do a dance video with you for your YouTube channel. And that's basically how we met.
Literally.
Yeah.
Since 2019, and we're still here. And not a single argument. I don't think we've ever fought. No, we haven't. And you're one of very few friendships that have... I mean, conflict is good, but I appreciate the ones where there's no conflict as well. Yeah. But let us get started with your acting career. Obviously,
Right.
I know the story from start to finish, but let's just pretend like I don't know. So for the class,
Yes.
when did you first know that this is for you?
So that was back. It was so many years ago. I was 11 years old, and my sister, one of my sister's friends, was working on the set of Rivoningo, and her friend was like, "Hey, we're looking for more kids to join. Can maybe your sister join us?" And then my sister told me about it, and I wasn't really sure, like, what exactly was happening. And then my sister informed my parents, and then my dad took me to the set. And then I get there, I'm like, wait a minute.
I'm going to be on TV. Yeah.
And then got the script, and then got in front of the camera along with the other cast members, and then director called action. Well, he counted down, and then he said action, and then we did our thing. And at that moment, that's when I knew that I want to be an actor.
Did you have like dialogue to do, or was it mostly like moving around and stuff?
I did have some dialogue, and movement as well. But it was I did mostly dialogue.
Cool. And how many days, weeks? How long were you there for?
It varied. So I would go to the set like maybe once a week, twice a week, and I did that for about a year. But there were a few months where I didn't go, and then I just didn't go back because I guess I looked a bit too old.
Yeah.
So.
And before that experience, what did you think your career would be like in the future?
I thought I was gonna be a teacher.
Most people feel like that. Me too.
Yeah.
Anyway, continue.
There were so many things. I thought of being a teacher, a doctor at some stage, an astronomer. Yes. So more in the science field.
Correct me if I'm wrong. You've got a telescope, right?
Yes, I do.
Yes, I know.
I do have a telescope, darlings. What else? I was also looking at being a chef as well because I was interested in cooking, but...
And you still are. And she still is.
As a hobby, though.
Yeah. You know what? This morning while I was preparing for my photo shoot and coming here, I was watching an episode of the Roundtable Talks with Mark Ruffalo and them. And then they got asked that question. And so I was writing down my questions for you. And I was like, okay, I know what she's going to say for this. But now you didn't say it. Animation.
Oh, yes.
You're also very passionate about drawing and artistry.
Yes.
And she's so good.
Oh, thanks.
You really are.
Thank you so much.
But can you then describe your time? You went to the University of the Free State. That's where we met. You studied drama. You were a year ahead of me, but take us through your 3 years studying drama and then choosing to specialize in acting for your third year.
So my time at UFS was actually a time that I never thought I would ever experience, especially at that place. And I didn't even know they had a drama department. And it was all thanks to my mom. And also, and also I went to a student convention there before I went to study at Free State. And I was like, nah, I don't want to go here. And at that time, I didn't know that they had a drama department. So, so applied at Free State because it was one of the few universities that accepted ACE students. Just to briefly describe what ACE is, it's an American system. It stands for Accelerated Christian Education. Very different from a government system, and it's not widely recognized in SA and at the institutions as well. So there's only a few that do recognize that system, and UFS was one of them. So I went to UFS, and first year was so overwhelming.
By what? The change from leaving Joburg to going to a smaller place?
Yes, especially because I came from such a small school. It was very closed off. And then going there into a different environment, my anxiety, especially registration day. I'll never forget that day.
Kotsis, you know what's up. You know what's up with the registration.
Wow.
Yeah.
That was a day and a half.
Yes.
It was a day and a half.
Yes.
I remember I cried. Oh my god.
Did you?
Yes, because I was so overwhelmed. And
well, you were in the lines at Cali Human.
Yeah, and also because I lost my mentor who was supposed to help me to register. So she had an emergency to attend to. That's why.
Mentor. Yes.
But then she didn't tell me. So
you were there all alone.
I was alone. But luckily,
the people later, helped though.
Yeah, there were a couple of people and a few people from Reyes as well that were there that assisted me. But I know that day was it was a lot. And then first day of drama class. Oh my gosh, it was It was not. I can't even remember exactly what we did, but it was more of an exercise that we did. And it was so much fun. And then
do you remember the feeling you had when you were doing the exercises?
I was excited.
Okay.
I was nervous but excited mostly, especially to be doing what I felt was right. And then and first year it was more of an adjustment actually for me, but it was great. And then second year was more practical because first year was more theoretical than practical. I would say maybe 60% theory and then 40% practical. And then in second year it was the opposite. And second year was a lot.
Yeah. I mean, you were doing a play as well.
Yes. In between doing assignments, writing tests, and doing technical hours at the theater, it was a lot. But and also had some personal things that I was going through as well. So it was all just it was really hard, but we made it through. Yeah. And I just liked the fact that we got to explore different parts of drama, not just the acting side of it, but the technical side of it as well. And it gave me a chance to really think about what it was that I wanted, and got to the conclusion that I want to specialize in acting, and that was in third year. So it was. I'm so grateful I went there.
Now, can you talk about how you got to specialize in acting? What did you have to do for that?
So we had third year auditions. Everyone had to audition. It didn't matter if you didn't want to specialize in acting, you still had to audition. So we auditioned in front of, it was basically a showcase, and that we did in front of the whole drama department, which was...
And a few outsiders.
Yes. And so it was open to everybody. It was so much fun putting that together. Yes, I did.
And it was amazing. It was amazing. And then how quickly did you guys get your responses to who made it in? Everyone who wanted to do acting, did they get in?
Not everyone, no.
Okay.
Yeah, so those that didn't go into acting, that wanted to go into acting didn't, and they ended up going to either technical or
Theatre
film
making
or
or
theatre
film,
making.
yeah.
Yes.
Okay, cool.
So yeah. Sorry, what was the last part of your question?
No. It's okay. And now we have here, how do you consistently reinvent yourself in all of your talents? Because yes, she's an actress. She got them vocals too, and you'll hear it soon. And like she said earlier on, we met because we were doing a dance thing. So you're more than a triple threat. So how do you continue practicing all of your talents? And I want to say making them all equal, but just giving attention to all of them at the right time.
Sure. So I just do my best with the time that I've got. So I recently started learning how to play the guitar because I want to end up playing a character who's a musician.
Yeah.
And also because I love the guitar. It's such a lovely instrument. And also with singing lessons, I'm taking singing lessons because I want to go into musical theatre, and that I do like every Saturday.
Yeah.
With guitar, it's a bit tricky because now I'm working and work is hectic.
Yeah.
But whenever I do have the time, I do spend some time with Velvet. That's her name. So yeah. But there are still other skills that I want to learn. So when I'm on a production break or when I'm not shooting anything, I'll just I want to go to a shooting range. I want to learn how to handle a gun and how to use a gun. I did go to a gun handling workshop provided by Saga, but I didn't get the opportunity to go to the shooting range. So which they provided late, I think 2 weeks later or so. So that's something I do want to attend once they've when they provide it again.
Yeah.
Because I want to play a detective or a police officer or a secret agent or something.
Yes,
that would be so cool. So I just try to be as consistent as possible. So when I have work, my focus is on work, but when I'm free, then I try to cultivate my skills. So
Okay. And when did you start to think of yourself as an actor? Was that before or after you went to university?
It was after I went to university because I felt that I couldn't call myself one yet because I didn't have the outside experience. So it was after I got signed with an agency and after I did A Raisin in the Sun. And prior to that, I was always like, I'm an aspiring actor. And the moment I got signed with MLA and did a play directed by Ntate Mofokeng wa Mametja, he's amazing.
Yes.
Then I could call myself an actor.
Yeah. And that was a very, in terms of how plays go, usually you'll just perform at one theatre, but you got to travel the country. I don't remember how many cities.
We only traveled to 2, so it was.
It was here in Joburg first.
Yes, at the Soweto. Yes, Soweto Theatre, and then we toured to Kroonstad.
Yes, that's where I saw it.
Yes.
But yeah, it was amazing, and that was. I think it's more significant or sentimental for. I would imagining in your head that your first industry production was like staged just to really unleash that fire. Unleash, not
yes.
unleash. That fire.
Okay.
And then we fell in love with the screen and all of that. Cool. Let's step away from the questions.
Right.
Let's do the vocals. So we're going to play Song Association with her. And you know the rules.
Yes.
Or do you know the rules? The rules. I'm going to give you a word.
Yeah.
Sing a song with that word either in the title or the lyrics of the song within or under 10 seconds.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll count down with my fingers.
Wait, dear. Can you repeat that?
Okay. I'm going to give you a word.
Yes.
And then you have 10 seconds to sing either a song where that word is the title of the song or it's part of the lyrics.
Okay. Got you.
Ready?
Yes.
Good. Crazy.
I think you're crazy.
Yeah.
I think you're crazy. Just like me.
That's a go-to for everyone. It's either that one or Crazy Yaha Beyonce.
Oh,
yes, it's
okay.
always. So from all the song associations that I've seen, it's always those two. Let's do another one. This is my favorite word recently. I don't know. I don't know if it's telling, but love.
Drunk in love, baby, all night. Love.
I like that song.
Me too.
I like that song. I like that song. I was listening to it yesterday while I was on my way to work, and I was like, "Oh, B, she snapped. Let's do another one." I don't want to give you a difficult one, but I want to give you a difficult one.
Okay, give me.
Fall.
When the sky falls, when we crumble, we will stand tall and face it all together.
I love that song. I love Adele. I've been listening to Adele recently, like nobody's business.
Yes.
Not all the albums, but specifically album 25, because for obvious reasons. But I've been listening to that album like non-stop. Cool. Back to the questions again.
All right.
What does having the support of your family and friends mean to you in your career? Because honestly, not a lot of artists have that support structure, especially from family. So what does it mean to you? Because I mean, I know that your family is 100% involved. Yeah.
It means a lot. Even that alone is actually an understatement. I'm so grateful to my family and to have the support structure that I have, especially in the work that I'm doing. Not a lot of people, like you mentioned, have that kind of support structure, and they also have parents that don't really support them in going into the creative industry. So I'm really grateful to my family, especially my mom and dad, for just staying behind me. Initially, my mom was like, "Yeah," but she came to terms with it, and she was like, "You know what, my darling, do what you want to do." And and from my friends, I'm so grateful to you, Kopano.
Yeah.
Like, thank you so much for supporting me. I love you so much.
I love you too. Oh my God, let's not do tears yet. But with your mom, what do you think convinced her or like made her? What was the moment of realization? I mean, Mom, it's a question for you, but she's here now.
I think it was my dad, because he himself is creative.
Yes.
Yeah. So he's an industrial designer. He's so talented. He's amazing. And his dad supported him in that. And I think Mom was just like, you know what? Let Nkoni do what she wants to do. Otherwise, she's not going to be happy. As long as she's happy, then I'm happy. So I think that's the conclusion that she got to eventually. Yeah. So yeah.
Do you know when I first realized that like the family's 100% in? It was in. When did you guys do For Colored Girls the second time? Was it in 2021 as well?
It was it was in 2019 for the
yes, for the festival. Yes, for Vryfees.
Yeah.
So it was at St. Andrews, and then I mean, obviously we had not met at the time. I was standing behind them. So it was your mom, your dad,
my brother,
and your brother. So they're talking, and something said to me, "This could be Nkoni's family," but I didn't want to, overstep whatever. And so I was rushing to go sit at the front of the line, like I did So this was my second time going to watch the play. So I wanted to go sit where I was sitting the last time. And then they were sitting where I was sitting. I was like, but I think it's Nkoni's family, so it's fine. And then I saw, like, when you came on, as the faces lit up, I was like, it is her family. And then later on, I saw, okay, it is your family. And I was like, that must so nice, because they traveled all the way to go and watch you performing in the arts festival. And they did so well. They did so well. But let's continue. Okay, you've answered this question already. What is the most rewarding thing about doing the job? So not like the people supporting you, but like when you're doing the work, what is that one thing that you're like, yes?
That happened with when I played Beneath the Younger in A Raisin in the Sun. So after the show, we had a Q&A, and one of the audience members was sharing that he's a doctor, and my character is Benitha was aspiring to be a doctor, and And yeah, he said he's a doctor. So yeah, the audience member said that he's a doctor, and he felt so inspired by my character because it rekindled his love for the arts.
Okay. Oh.
Yes.
Yes.
And also he was inspired by me, Nkoni, and he was just like, you know what, I thank you so much for igniting this fire again. That was so heartwarming to hear. And at that moment, I was like, this is why I do what I do.
To affect an audience.
Exactly.
That is the job of an
Yes.
I mean, one of the jobs of an actor. And then how do you congratulate yourself on a job well done? Where you like, you know, that was actually a good take. Or when you're on stage, you're like, Or when you're doing your voiceover stuff.
Yeah, so I love a glass of red wine. Has to be good, sweet red wine.
Yes.
Yeah, those people who want to come for me, please
Don't do that.
don't do that. Like sweet red is my baby. Okay, I know dry red is also very good, but I just have a palate for sweet red. Anyway, okay, so I pour myself a glass of sweet red wine and then order myself some sushi. Yep.
Let's take a
I
detour.
made him an addict.
Let's take a detour. So before living in Johannesburg, I was like, get that nastiness away from me. I hated sushi. I had it once in my life and I was like, no, this is not for me. This is not for me. And then Madam over here and a few of my colleagues at work, they were like, just try it. Just try it. Just try it. If you hate it still, it's fine. And then I tried. I think the first time I tried was at work. They had ordered and they were like, we're going to give you one of this and one of this. I think it was a California roll. No. Yes, a California roll and maki. And I was like, oh. And then you came over to me once and then you ordered. And I was like, And it's the reason why I'm broke now. Whenever I can, I do.
Me too.
And the restaurant that we go to,
Yes.
I think I've been there like 3 times now.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. I'm addicted. So, and it's your fault. Yeah.
I'm sorry. Sorry, not sorry.
Yeah, so what is sweet red wine?
Yeah, sweet red wine.
And sushi.
And sushi, yeah. So sometimes white wine with some sushi. And then I put on something good to watch, where it'd be, okay, I remember I've recently I recently rewatched, or still rewatching Vampire Diaries. And yes.
What season are you on?
I think 3.
Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
but it's been a while.
Is that where the mom comes back?
Yes.
Esther, yes, that's season 3.
And then, yes, yeah. Oh, I was talking about Vampire Diaries. Yes, how I reward myself. Yeah. Yes. So basically that in bed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just relaxing.
Just relaxing.
De-stressing.
Yes.
Yeah. No, I had no idea you were watching Vampire Diaries. I mean, obviously I was watching it while it was airing all those years ago when we were children. But yeah, it's one of my favorite shows, actually. Well, teen shows. Cool. Is there a character you've played in your career which you feel as though you didn't have a proper goodbye to that character?
Refilwe Mukwena from Redemption.
Yeah.
Yeah, the season ended on such a cliffhanger.
Yes.
And I don't know if we're going to get another season, but if we don't, my ideal goodbye to Refilwe would be for her to have come to terms with everything that has happened in her life, having lost Zoe and blaming herself for it, losing her mom, being made fun of at school because she was different, and just for her to fully accept herself and love herself. So we didn't really get that that chapter,
that resolution.
Yes, that resolution. Yes. So
how much of yourself would you say is in Refilwe?
Sure, my younger self a lot. Yeah.
Okay. If it were worst audition story.
Whew.
Taking away the that film one.
Yes.
Almost said the name.
So this was for a series. I auditioned for it in December while I was no, it wasn't December, it was November. Yes, while I was still in Cape Town shooting the film. And I had to submit a self-tape for this series, and then got a callback for it. Then the callback, I was still shooting. I couldn't fly home, so I submitted another tape, and then they called me again, which was great.
Yeah.
And then
Is this the one we were talking about a few days ago?
no,
Okay, something else.
it's
Okay,
something
cool.
else. So yeah, and then they called me again, and at that time, luckily, I just finished shooting the film, and flew home. And then the audition was on the Monday. I flew home on the Saturday. Cool. Hey, this callback, it was none like I've ever experienced before.
Yeah.
So, the story is it's about high school students, and it's centered around netball,
Yes.
right? And
Oh,
yeah,
yes. Yes, 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 yes.
it was a whole boot camp.
Yes.
It
wasn't a callback.
No.
It was PE.
It was PE. It was PE on steroids. So we got to the callback at 9:00, and then we left around 3:00 in the afternoon.
In the sun.
Yes, in the sun. It was, I think, 33 degrees out. Yes, they provided food. They provided water. There was a gazebo that they also provided, but I don't think we should have gone through all of that, especially for people who weren't even confirmed for the roles. I think on their part that was not right.
Yeah.
Sure, it was intense.
And was there a coach?
There was a coach.
Okay.
There was a coach. Hey, that coach showed no mercy. It was like I was back at school.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Yeah, we did drills. We did drills literally for most of the callback session, and then we only did netball for like the last 2 hours.
Did they tape that or?
They did. Like they were taking videos just to see. The reason why they did it was because they wanted to see how we were like on the pitch.
Field, yeah.
Yes,
Pitch, not field.
and how we interact with one another while we're playing and so on. But
Never gonna do that again.
and let me tell you, what happened was, they called us again. This time just for chemistry tests.
Okay.
Also, I thought. So we did the chemistry test first. Then they were like, okay, now we're going to the fields. I was like, what for?
Absolutely not.
No.
Did you do it?
I had to. But looking back, I will not put myself through that again.
Yeah.
No. No.
Yeah, that is. I mean, from all the worst audition experiences I've had, I think that has to be the worst one.
It was the worst.
Yeah.
That was abuse.
Yeah. Yeah, but till for now, with me, I think the only one is I forgot to say the languages I could speak. They were like, so state your name. I was like, yeah, this is my name.
Yes.
And your age. Yeah, my age. And languages that you can speak. So I'm like, so I only mentioned 2. They're like, and English, of course. I'm like, yeah, English. But it's okay. We live and we learn. Let's talk about your process for auditioning.
Right.
Because I think people always get confused between the process for auditioning and the process when you got the role. I think they're different, at least, or I think they should be different. What's your process to auditioning?
It's not gonna lie, it is a bit similar to when I prepare for a character. So, excuse me. So at the end of the day, you want to create a believable character, whether you're auditioning or not. Whether you're auditioning or shooting. So I get the script, and then I read the scene as often as I can, just to get the feel of what the scene is about and what this character is about. And then there's also sometimes I would get most of the time actually, sorry, there would be a character description. So so I read that character description and then read the scene, then break down the scene, try to understand why this character is saying this, why is this character saying that, where does the gear change happen, and then I just explore with the different tones for the scene, and that's basically it.
And you do all this before you work on memorizing the lines. Yeah, you get the character first, and then the lines come after.
And then
does it make it easier to get the lines, because if you understand the scene and the character, the lines just come like that?
It is. But also The brain is very funny.
Yeah.
Sometimes I also find myself learning the lines first and then reading the scenes. And then just exploring from there.
Yeah.
But most of the times I just read the scene first and then I
And
memorize
with
the lines.
lines, do you always get them verbatim or do you mix it up a bit?
So I do get them verbatim, but when it's time to perform, sometimes I tend to forget. So I just say something that is along the lines of those lines. As long as it keeps the same meaning, then it's okay.
You know what? With the audition that I had the other day, the one we were talking about, I knew the lines verbatim, like start to finish. And then when I got in there, I mean, it made sense, but I tend to like reorganize, restructure them.
Yeah.
I'm like, it's so weird what the brain can do. Because when you're just preparing, you're like, okay, this is it. But when it's time to deliver, at least for me, then
it happens to me too.
It gets jumbled around.
Yeah.
But yeah.
So say like when I was shooting 2 scenes yesterday. There were some lines that I didn't say that weren't exactly on the script.
Yeah.
But
they worked.
Yeah, they worked.
Okay.
Yes.
Back to the game.
Okay.
Oh, but I'm gonna switch it up.
All right.
I'm gonna give you. It's still doing song association, but Miss Lady over here has a knack for doing animated characters. So I'm going to give you words and then now you need to sing them in your different characters. I don't know who they are, but yesterday she posted a story. She's like, I'm done. And then she did them in all the 3 voices. And I'm like, okay, thank you for doing that because now here's the idea.
Oh, man. Okay, here we go.
Dream.
I had a dream. I had a dream. A song to sing.
I even messed up the lyrics of that song.
Oh, but do you see? And which character is that?
I was trying to do Timmy Turner.
Oh, yes, Timmy Turner.
But it was a bit,
Very Odd Parents, right?
Yes. But it was high pitched.
Okay.
It was a bit too high pitched.
Okay, do his speaking voice quickly.
Okay.
Hi, Copano. How are you?
Okay.
I want a milkshake.
Another one. Beautiful. A different character now.
Beautiful. Whew. Ish.
That's time. I'll give you a song.
Okay.
My mind went to Beautiful Liar, Beyonce and Shakira. But then I'm also thinking, because you're beautiful in every single way.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, just sing anything with one of your characters' voices.
'Cause you're beautiful, no matter what they say. Words can't break me down.
Yeah. And which character is that?
Bubbles.
From? Oh,
Powerpuff
Girls.
Girls.
Yes. Actually, yes. You could voice that. Let's do, I think you've got, how many other characters do you have? 2 more? 3 more? 5 more? 6 more?
There's Vanellope from Wreck-It Ralph.
What's that?
She's the that little girl with she's from the Candyland. No? Yeah, have you watched Wreck-It Ralph?
Who? No, I'm not even being saucy. What's the, who? What?
Wreck-It Ralph.
Wreck-It?
Wreck-It Ralph. It's a movie. Oh, okay, no, it's fine. Let me think of another one.
Your word is cartoon.
Cartoon.
I don't know a song with the word cartoon in it.
No, and neither do I.
Yeah,
but, let's
find
make
another.
something up. Okay. Let's see. Let me think.
Pink, red, any color, blue.
I'm trying to think of a character.
Pinkie Pie.
Who's Pinkie Pie?
So she's from My Little Pony, the pink one. Oh, yeah, Pinkie Pie.
Okay.
Yes.
Now sing.
Okay. Whew. Sure. Okay, how am I going to do
Any
this?
song.
Okay. My name is Pinkie Pie. I love to party. I like to organize parties.
Let's just speaking to the voices. When did you first realize you could do them, and when did you want to okay, now I need to voice one of these characters or something within the
Yes.
world of voiceover work for
Yeah.
cartoons?
So my interest actually started last year, July. So it's a very recent thing. But even prior to that, I wanted to I wanted to venture into voice acting, but more specifically for commercials and television. And at the time, I didn't even know that I could do different voices. So, and this one day in July, I was like, let me just play around. And I Googled some sample scripts from voice acting websites. And then I found one, and then found a voice, and then did that voice.
Yeah.
Good morning, Cloudsy.
That
one. So, yeah. And then I posted it on my Instagram story, but I didn't think much of it. And then the responses, they were like, Connie, you can
Eat it
do
up.
this?
Eat it
What?
up.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then I was like, oh, wait, I can, okay. All right, let's, okay. Then, and then my interest in voice acting for animation increased. So I then, and then, oh my gosh. So while I was in Cape Town shooting the film, I had a day off, and then I was bored, and I put together a video compilation of the different voices that I could possibly do. And I didn't think they were that close. So I did Bubbles, I did Timmy Turner, I did Pinkie Pie, Raven, and what was the other one? There were 5 of them.
Yeah.
But yeah, those ones. And then I posted it on my story, and then they were like,
I remember seeing that. I was like,
people were so fascinated.
Yes.
And I didn't even know that I had a thing for it until that specific moment.
Yeah.
And then my cousin was like, nah, you got to post this on your feed. And then I did, and it went viral.
Yes.
And then that's when I was like,
Yeah.
okay.
And now I need to do this.
I need to do this.
Yeah.
I need to take this seriously now.
Yeah.
And I just finished my voice acting course. Yay! I got my certificate.
Yay.
So now I just have to get proper equipment and
Everything else that you
and
may
everything
need.
else
Yes.
that I need.
Okay, for anyone who's interested in the voiceover acting course, can you share the details with that?
So I trained under Elma. She's the founder and CEO of Elevate Africa. You can also go to her profile on Instagram at elma. Okay, yeah.
Find it.
Find
No,
it.
but I'll put it in the description
Yes.
box below.
So yeah, and then she also has a website, so you can visit elevateafrica.com, .co.za, sorry, and all the details are there. The course is it's 2,000 rand, but it's for about a month. 3 lessons, 2 hours each.
Oh,
So, yeah.
Okay, and then any assessments or whatever?
No.
Okay.
there aren't any
cool.
assessments.
And then you get your certificate, and then you call it a day.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so all of you interested, you can do that, and yeah.
Might I add? So you don't only get a certificate, you also get a rate booklet of how you should rate yourself as a voice actor. Yes. And then you also get a booklet of scripts as well, sample scripts, which is amazing.
Okay.
Yeah.
You know, I think. Excuse me. I think the whole rate thing that works well, because I was doing a voiceover last year, and then what they paid me was good for me.
Yes.
But when I found out from other people, they're like, "No, you should have asked for way more than that." I was like, "Oh, okay, but it's okay. We live and we learn."
Yes.
What do I want to say with voices? You know, I just do the older British ladies. The one I can do very well.
Yeah.
And I was watching. There's a show. It used to be on Netflix. It's a British show called Downton Abbey.
Yes.
And Dame Maggie Smith, she plays this character called Violet. She's like, she's a lady. She's, and she, I mean, Dame Maggie Smith doesn't speak like that in her everyday life, but the fact that she was able to put it on. And there's this scene in season 1 or 2 when, so it's set all those years ago when the telephone was new.
Yeah.
So in the house, they got a telephone. And so she had to call her cousin. She's like, hello? Shrimpy, is this a method of communication or torture? Shrimpy, I won't waste time. Who might we know on the board of St. Catherine's Infirmary? And that is what I used to practice. So I think that's my thing. And you, I mean, you do the accents, you do the different voices. I mean, I do accents as well, but she does them. And yeah, so, and that's just a demonstration of all her other talents. What has been the most memorable piece of advice you've gotten from your fellow actors, people that you've worked with, or people that you've just met at an audition room or something?
So this one stood out for me, especially like now.
Yeah.
I received this advice from this lovely lady, Mom Dorothy Ann Gold. She is so wonderful. She told me that art isn't perfect. And she told me this on a day where I had a bad day.
Yeah.
Because I felt that the scenes that I did, my performances in those scenes weren't good. And because of the little mistakes that I made, and because of those little mistakes, it just, it already made me feel like, oh, I'm not a good actor. I should have done better, or I should have, like I was just, I was in my head a lot.
Yes.
And Dorothy was like, relax. Art is not perfect. You are art. Humans are not perfect.
Yes.
So I hold that advice very close to my heart, especially because I'm so hard on myself.
Yeah.
So it's been easier now to handle situations like that.
Isn't it amazing how people that we meet who've been in this industry for as long as they've been, they know just the right thing to say to you that'll help you particularly. Because with me, after my interview with Shannon Ezra last year, she was like, don't be too desperate because it shows on you. Don't be too desperate. When it is supposed to start happening for you, it will.
Yeah.
And at that time, I thought, yes, take it in. But I was like, but I want it to happen. And we've had the conversations so many times.
Yeah.
But then cut to now, 2024, what year is it? 2024, where I signed with my agent and then attending all these auditions, even today, doing the photo shoot and stuff. I was like, now I see what Shannon was talking about. Patience. Don't be too desperate. When it comes, it'll come.
Yeah.
So yeah. You've worked with a lot of actors, some new, some seasoned and they've worked in this industry for many years. But any actors that you haven't yet worked with that you would want to work with? Let's name a few.
Gail Mabalanu.
Yes.
Yes.
I mean, look at, doesn't she look like her child?
You know?
Yeah. Yeah.
I would love to work with her. I'd love to work with Soweto Christopher. I mean, we do see each other on set, but we haven't had a scene together. And one day, I am praying that we will have a scene together. Maybe not in this production that I'm on.
The next.
Or the next, yes. Who else? Someone else that I want to work with. Sure, there's so many, but like it's the faces I remember. But
the names on
there.
Okay, let's describe. You're on a show. You're most likely playing the daughter of.
Yes.
Describe that on-screen family: mom, dad, and then 2 siblings in addition to you.
Okay, so mom would be Gail Mabalanu or Soweto Christopher. And then dad would be either Shomla, or Tabula Mokwena. And then siblings. So I think Kwanela Mteto could play my older
Your
sister.
older sister, yes.
Because we've been told we look very much alike.
You do.
So yeah, she's my twin. We call each other twins. And then a brother, maybe... He played in Tokozo in Gomorrah.
Oh, Sishi.
Yes,
Yes.
yes. Yeah.
That's a very multi-talented family, might I say, because you sing, you dance, Sishi sings, he dances. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
I see it. Well, let's manifest, and then
Yes.
it'll happen. Second last question, I think. Oh no, third last. We spoke about skills earlier, but what's a skill that you want to learn to better yourself? So you spoke about the gun shooting and all of that, but any other one? For me personally, I can swim, but I want to perfect my swimming.
Yeah. That's also one of them. I can swim, but it's not like yeah. I would say I'm a 6 out of 10 with swimming.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'd say I'm a 4 out of 10. I play around in the pool and I can take a lap or two. Then I have to stop. Yeah.
And then horse riding. I actually received a brief where the artist is required to have to be able
a background in horseback riding.
But I was not doing it. Yeah. So it's one of those. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Those are the only ones.
No. But I can't think of any others at the moment.
Would you say those are the most immediate ones you'd want to chase?
The most immediate ones, yes.
For me, the swimming is definitely number one on my list. And I've had my violin for years now.
Yes.
But it's just sitting there. So I feel like it's time. And I did find a school close to where I stay. So the violin, because I used to be, I got it in varsity.
Yeah.
And I got one of the music students at the music school to teach me, and I was getting into it. I could play Twinkle Twinkle Little Star. Obviously now I can't do that anymore because I don't even remember everything. But yeah, the violin is one of them, and I'd love to get back into dancing. I mean, yes, I've got the rhythm and I can dance, but getting back into ballet, just that discipline. I attended like a free class last year, and I went to the intermediate class, so I thought, I'll be able to handle it. I was like, whoa. I am not 18 years anymore because my body was like, who do you think you are? You forgot you're almost there at 21. But then she was like, no, stay for the beginner class as well. So then I stayed for the beginner class. I was like, okay, I think this is my speed. Yes. I have to go back, but it's okay. Just,
On that note, so dancing is also another one. I haven't danced in a long time either. It's been so long. But it is a skill that I do want to also perfect and cultivate. Yeah. And then piano. I want to learn how to play the piano.
Yes. Yeah, I know. For me, I think the violin is the only instrument because I just love the sound a violin makes.
Beautiful.
When I'm on TikTok and I can't sleep at night, you see these guys who travel around, and then whenever they see a piano, they put their phone here and the one there, and then they'll play the piano, and then sometimes violinists will come and then they'll join, and then they'll just go mad. I'm like, I want to get to that. I want to. I mean, obviously not to that level, but just to play.
Yes.
But this is the second last question now, but we spoke about it before.
Yeah.
But I think now let's just give a why. If you weren't an actor, what other career would you be? So we spoke about being a teacher, chef, and all that, but why those other options?
So I was, just before I graduated high school, sorry, my tummy's rumbling. So just before I graduated high school, I was thinking of going into teaching, I applied for teaching and foundation phase, and then drama as well, and I got accepted for both. Then I went for drama, of course. So the reason why I considered teaching, especially for the little ones, is because I was a teaching assistant in my matric year.
Oh yes.
Yeah. I was working there at the school part time. So I would go to which class did I assist? It was grade 2, grade 3, sometimes grade 4 and 5, but on different occasions. So yeah, I would come. I would also go there for oh my, I was about to say school holidays, but to visit the school. Yes.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, to work for a certain amount of time, I would spend assisting grade 2 and 3, or just grade 2, and then another time it would be grade 4 and 5. So yeah, and I enjoyed it. I'm not gonna lie, like I did, but it wasn't a passion.
Yeah.
It wasn't a passion. So I knew that deep down I want to be an actor.
Yeah. And we are happy you've made that choice.
Yay!
We've come to the end.
Yes.
The last question is, what were some of the promises you made to yourself while you were studying in university? Obviously, because you had goals, like, I want to achieve this as an actress. No. And what are those goals that you have achieved now since that your career has started?
So personally, was for me to, like, if I was going to change, it was going to be for the better. And I've achieved that, and still, working towards becoming the person that God wants me to be. And looking back at my varsity self and Nkoni now, same person but very different mindsets. And and then one of my other promises was to get signed with a very good agency, and that has happened. To be on an international film, that has happened. And yeah, I'm just sure. Yeah. I'm living in a lot of my prayers.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, I love that. Living in a lot of my prayers. And I think that's the perfect way to end it off. Thank you so much.
Thank you for
honestly,
having me.
The easiest interview I've ever done. I mean, I appreciate everyone I've interviewed. To be like, watch them, then you'll see. But this was the easiest because the comfortability, and it was just like another one of our calls.
Yes,
and
literally.
the time when we go out to eat or whatever. So it was so much fun. Oh, you know how much of a fan, how much I support, and how much I love you, because you are amazing, not just as a performer, but as a person. You're a very good friend. I mean, it's been how many years? Close to over 5 years if I'm counting. And yeah, I just wish you nothing but the best in your personal life, in your career, in everything that you may venture into, and that we'll be friends forever.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, but just take us out. Something is coming. Tell them where what's happening.
So your girl has joined Generations. I play the character of Minenke, aka Minnie. And she is a hustler. She is feisty, but she's also kind, and she will do anything to get what she wants. And she has big dreams, just like myself. And I see myself in her too. So yeah, stay tuned.
Yes.
Yes.
And my girl gets to play within her age. But there are 2 other stuff on Netflix. Just tell them quickly. They've been out for a while, but yeah.
Yes. So a Soweto Love Story, I play Le Morang. And then Soon Comes Night. So I play a younger version of Gausi's character, Lesedi.
Yes. Yeah.
So yeah.
Okay, cool. And there's something else coming. We don't know when, but stay tuned.
Yes.
Because there's
Something's
a lot.
brewing.
If you don't see her on screen, you'll see her on stage, and you'll see her on YouTube or during your commercials, because she is the queen of commercials, as I call her. But to everyone who's watched this episode, thank you so much. If you listen to this as a podcast, please do come back again. Like, comment, subscribe, whatever you want to do. Share with a friend or two. It's amazing for you, and it's definitely amazing for me. And I'll see you in the other one. Bye-bye, y'all.
Bye. Hey guys, so I just had my interview with Kopano, and please do like, share, subscribe, and the whole shebang. You know what to do.